Hello everyone and welcome to another match of the 2022 Roulette Rivals World Championship, this time with a knockout stage round 2 match between Frote7 and Yannini. This is one of the most anticipated matches, not just the round, but I think the whole bracket between the two most experienced, most decorated and most, I guess, winningest players of basically all of roulette, of the whole community. Frote7, the 4-time RR champion, winning the first 3 PC brackets and then returning to winning ways in RR6 versus Yannini, who has won RRs 3 on console and then 4 and 5 on PC. One thing has eluded both of them, which is the World Championship title, Yanni coming closest with a 2nd place finish in 2020, Frote with consistent 4th place finishes in both 2020 and 2021. They are obviously very much hopeful that this can be their year, and if they beat their probably greatest rival, then they will have a really good chance to go far in this winner bracket, probably all the way to the final at the very least. First to 6 once again, which means that a guaranteed of 3 maps will be played. First 2 as always chosen by the players. It is Marrakesh by Frote7 and Chongqing by Yannini. Very much tactical picks, but it will be interesting to see this performance, the lifetime performance of these juggernauts. Wins in the tens, more than a dozen for most players or most maps. 13-4 for Frote, and it's just season 1, his home turf, his very comfortable position. All 6 maps he could take on almost anyone. And we will have to see if Yanni will be able to capitalize on anything on this first map, and then we will move to Chongqing, which is, I think, on contrary, would be Frote's weakest season, but it's not like there is a big difference here. And all right, funny circumstances here. We will be delaying the spin. I suppose so. Oh, not because of the match which is going on. There is a decider on the other stream, casted by Nizuko-chan. I'm just going to put the link here so everyone can watch it, and then obviously they will be joining us here once that spin finishes. Supposedly when that spin finishes, the score is 4-4, sorry, between Joker and the Time Cube. And whoever wins Whittleton Creek will advance to round 3. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the winner of that match will play the winner of this match. So a lot on the line in this part of the bracket. And I don't think we will be able to avoid spoilers on this match, so the other match is on at the side for me, just watching as the final minutes approach. It's really close with Whittleton Creek. We will probably talk about the winner, and of course the latest when the brackets will be revealed after these 2 matches. Chris X3 is not only the admin for this match, and not only the co-caster for this match, but also the admin for the parallel match, Joker versus Time Cube, so he will be joining me once that 5th or potentially 6th spin finishes. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the end, but Yanni requested a delay because of a crash and couldn't go live because of it or something similar. But Yanni is here now. Frote has been, of course, for several minutes and should be good to go in a minute and a half. I'm just going to fire away all these stats before I have Chris, and of course it will be much easier to talk to him between maps about anything. But this is their 5th encounter. They have played twice in RR3, and then in both World Championship they met in the lower bracket. And there, I guess the series is tied 2-2. Yanni winning the 1st and 3rd match 4-2, and Frote winning the other 2 matches 6-2. And this being a first 6 affair, I guess this would be the first random number to show Frote's way, but this is going to be such a close match and very hard to say. Joker versus Time Cube has ended with a photo finish and would be very, yeah, I think it's nice for everyone except Chris XC, who will be, yeah, technically looking at this screen, I will be screaming everything is amiss, but also calculating the photo finish times from the other match. And if that match were to go to the 6th map, then I'm just feeling really sorry for Chris, who definitely ended up between these 2 benches, 2 chairs, however you guys say it in English. 20 seconds until the first spin. of hopefully many, but as at least 3 obviously, with RNG determining the rest of the map pool. It won't be Haven, it won't be Paris. And it's nice for me to mess with the sound settings, and then either Chris will be very loud or very silent when he appears, but hopefully he appears soon after this photo finish. We will start with this Marrakesh Spin Race as Aidan, Pistol as Elite Soldier, Klaus Chandler, Explosion Accident as Waiter. Seems very strong towards school starts and getting a Razor kill. The one of the spins where you don't have to bring Emetic or any item to move Razor out of his place, but Frote's not opting for school start, he's opting for something early with Klaus. While Yanni has a pistol and an Ambrose grenade for sure in his inventory, so he's looking to get a very early Razor kill. And if it's that quick, then first cycle is not out of the question. World record is 4:28 if I'm not mistaken. I did not check it before the spin. It is held by Chris XC, the longest standing world record at this point from the group stages of last year's competition. And I did miss if Frote were going to go for any lockdown. I think Klaus went on his cycle, so Frote is looking for a quick explosion accident, perhaps remote, and then on his way back he can get Razor there, but Yanni, 40 seconds in, already with the first kill down, and I guess the only liability would be this Elite Soldier as... Well, I was going to say the officer would be liability, but Yanni will be dismissing the Elite Soldiers as well, so that they are out of the way. And should they not found the body, that it's a very quick Yanni kill. It does feel like that there would have been a case for any of the triggers for Klaus, either lockdown or honeycomb, but Yanni will be just going for Waiter as is. Minute 20 right now means, unless Yanni finds a really quick Waiter, which I don't think he will have to go for other cycles with Klaus as the Waiter. I think this is the last second change of heart, and Yanni will just go to the consulate to make his timing, isolate Klaus, knock him out with a propane, no doubt, and get a Waiter and exit right there. Frote in the correct disguise is looking to get this 2.5 minute kill on Klaus. Going to be a nice and live kill. You don't want to be impatient, of course. One step too early could be devastating, but that's Klaus down, and technically the first Klaus kill. I was going to say the first kill, but I did say that Yanni had Razor, of course, before the 40-second mark. So this is very loud in my ears, but I think it's only on my end that you guys don't hear a lot of Frote's alarm. It is a level 4 security announcement, and they are not meant to discuss the incident, as of course we know it so well. Yanni potentially missed the Seeker shot there. It took an awfully long time for Klaus to react. But Yanni is confidently going back down here for the propane, and we don't have sound. He does have some sound, so I think it would have been the best cue to, yes, hear Klaus complain about some rotten food or whatever. But this is a Klaus isolation, and this is a very wall-hacky spot, but Yanni will be leaving Klaus here. The breacher is definitely far enough away from Klaus. I guess the one question is if it will be found through the chairs, which is... It's not even the wall, which is contains some holes, but where chairs are can be a bit close. But yeah, by the 3.5 minute mark, Frote has made it to the school again, and it is going to be a non-trespassing kill, a non-trespassing disguise, and it may come down to whether Frote has the keys already, but he will stay as Elite Soldier, using this new-ish tech to distract these two people, so that Razor immediately turns towards the intercom, but Razor is very far away from it all. Frote looking to get the key, but...
What was that head turn? What the fuck?
Gets an unlucky head turn, and Might just be deciding first map here. If Yanni can get this seeker shot on, because and the whole isolation, because all these have some unfortunate steps here. We could be having bad mirror action, and well, first of all, the waiter needs to go to the right toilet. It's basically the only puking spot in the town, in public area at least. And if Yanni crouches near this mirror and keeps those green guns before anyone else enters this area, this might just be it for the first map. Gets the last disguise detonator in hand, and that is an accident kill as well as explosion, so it's all fair. And Yanni takes Frote's pick. The first map is over after 5.5 minutes. No record, but a quick start for both players, just really close for Frote. It might have been a map win for Frote because of that head turn. But it's Yanni first, and if there are some extra seconds taken here, as a reminder, no, Chris is here, of course, so yes, it is a legal run, and I was just going to say that I think Chris is very deep into photo finish calculations on another match, map 5 of Joker vs Time Cube, so there is a lot to handle for Chris, but we appreciate his work on both matches at the same time, and Yanni will be getting the first 2 points any second now. And there we have it, and there we have Chongqing next.
Easily, look how far I again was.
And
what the fuck? I've never been spotted grabbing that key from behind, man.
So it is, for me, it's always very difficult whether to add the game sound of someone who is talking. I would like to, but it's sadly, Frote is the only one with actual game sounds, and I don't want to just talk the void or listen to nothing else. So for now, it is just a bit of Frote game sound turned down. Still no results from Joker vs Time Cube. Not because it would take slow for Chris, but I imagine it's a close finish. Oh, it is a close finish. I'm not going to spoil it, and you definitely should stay in Zuko's chat for that, but I'm just reading about the news, and maybe it'll be broken as soon as possible. If it takes an extra few minutes, then there is obviously nothing wrong with that. One map down here, and 2.5 minutes until Chongqing. There we go. Yanni's map pick. It's not really the lifetime performance which would make it a tactical pick for Yanni against Frote, but I think some personal opinions felt, with those in mind, Yanni felt that it could be not a lot of maps that he would be confident against Frote, but Chongqing was one of them, and I would say that it's really hard when you try to find weakness for a multi-RR champion, but it always felt like, or recently, that there could be multiple angles from Season 3, but it could be just an overreaction or a generalization, which we always like to do, because by the same token, Frote is just so solid on Season 1 maps, on the longer maps, so it's just really beyond one point, picking a Benny becomes part of esoterics. It's really, you're never really going to find a map where you have a 100% chance against someone, let alone a 3-time or 4-time RR champion, but it has been Chongqing, and as Yanni took Marrakesh, it is just as likely that we could see the favor repaid and we go 2-2 into the RNG stretch of the game. But Yanni must be feeling good. Frote definitely feeling frustrated, because it was mostly down to a head turn. It was mostly down to a very close prompt to an enforcer, for which he didn't feel the need to wait out the cycle. We did see that Reza was quite a few seconds away from the intercom and the toilet, but it's really hard to slow yourself down in one sense, because if you start waiting out those cycles, then we could see that Yannis was Yanni was also really close to finishing, and it was really hard for me to see the parallels, and I think Frote was closer to finishing with the key. He was just one blur and one silence pistol shot away, and then 10 seconds of waiting, and Yanni still had the seeker shot and all the way to ISO. But Frote needs to get that one out of his system because there are lots more maps to be played if he wants to win. And of course it's at least 3. Yanni can clinch it in the next 2. Still no result for the photo finish. There are just some situations where you can't resist but look at the other match, even though there is no gameplay, but all you are waiting for is the score to change. And yeah, if it wasn't a photo finish, we would be chatting nicely with Chris XC already, but Joker and Time Cube wanted otherwise, and we are turning into map number 3. Map number 2, sorry, it did not skip one. One did. Still alone, but he will be here any minute now, and we will have the result for that map any minute now, and the spin any second now, 5 to be exact. Here we have Hush Fall as Facility Guard and Imogen Roy's Sniper Rifle as Facility Analyst. It's a very much facility angle. Will someone start Facility Analyst and just bring the disguise up for a quick 4 kill, or is someone looking for a quick Hush ISO and then go back and forth with the Facility disguises? Analyst start looks better here. Yanni already with the start. Frote was still on block guard, but could still change it, but no, he will be going block, because there is the sniper rifle in the corridor agency pickup, so with Yanni leading by 5 seconds-ish on the loading. Seems to be having the quicker strat in mind, but first tries are all that matter here, and Yanni will have a bit of a tighter strat to do here with a triple shot and a banana. Incidentally, Frote also brought a banana, but it will be for a different matter. Couldn't exactly be sure what that will be used for, but this is Yanni's use. Triple shot and hide out of that bubble, which is done here, and Yanni can get rid of the evidence as well. The guard is down, and this will be the disguise for him to bring up to Hush. Depending on some times, it will be really close. Whether Yanni can get a simple double KO on Hush and Mogwai. The alternative is that he will be a second or 2 late for that, and he will have to resort to a peekaboo. I imagine both are practiced, because this is a timing that is used famously by Observer first on both the guard and the engineer. So it's not something that comes up all too rarely. We just have to see if Yanni can handle this. And I have a lot of games on for Yanni's side. Okay, minus 50 decibel. Scratch that. Yanni very close on timing. That body found is from the banana, of course.
You know, I enjoy your company. That's nice.
And we all have to see. Yep, Yanni cannot get it, and it will be compromised. And then uses the... Oh, I'm so glad that he did that, because that is the... That would be the way to save it, but the guard also reacted, and there is bullet impact. Notice the red guns could have been from everything. And I'm not entirely convinced if Mogwai wasn't found. But Hush is the main cause for the red guns, and we will figure out very shortly whether he will recover from this one. It would be a 2-minute trip, and the block guard is closing in on the area, but he shouldn't come outside. It's so far away from the action. Yanni with the dump and gets crucial green guns back. And this is just the crucial difference here, because Frote has no kills and will have to bring the facility guard up there. Now, the balcony exit isn't all too far away from the Hush 4 kill, as Yanni also went for this agency pickup. I say this, I use a surprise tone as if there would be a different agency pickup which works for this map, because the facility, deep in the facility there is one and the arcade has one, but ideally you just go back to the top. And through the beach, down the stairs, or the pipe if you want. This is basically the closest way to get to Imogen, and Yanni has the agency pickup now as well. Of course, the sniper rifle also important for this match. It's just the fact that Frote still has no kills. Will have the first Imogen kill and has the harsh disguise as well. But depending on when Yanni shot the drone, I think it was an insta shot seeing the minimap. I think Imogen should rest. She is right here. With the guard closer, Yanni doesn't look for the tier 1 security, and it's awful long peekaboo. Which he saves with yet another bullet distraction. And getting this tier 1 will be a lot of help for him. But probably better to hide this guy indeed, because the umbrella lady will be troublesome to get. Will be troublesome for the spin, not to get, but just in general. And Yanni just hoping to get this tier 3 away. And as I say that, Chris, welcome to this match and congratulations on finishing up the other game at last.
Oh, hello. Yeah, that was really fun.
Can imagine.
Great, Whittleton. So so we're on Chongqing, and I'm gonna say that I hope that both of these kills were done legitimately, because I was timing a photo finish for the 6th time in a row, but
Hush was absolutely done. A very tense 4-kill turned those red guns green, and Frote went out of his way to get the facility analyst, so while I wasn't actively looking at it, I have no doubt to see that it was a legal one. And we are finishing it. This one really close here. Frote with still a 15-second-ish drag to go, and the exit will be further away, so I think Yanni will have to have this as a silenced kill, so there is not a lot that can go wrong here anymore.
I mean, if Frote is able to recognize being able to take the balcony start, I think he could very easily be get another photo finish from me.
And he does, to my experience. It would be balcony indeed. But Yanni will have the lead in this.
Yeah, for sure.
PC
and
versus PC.
I did not at all see the loading times, but I would assume neither of them had any rips at this time.
It wasn't anything to comment on, and it was first try on both, so I think 2 quickies, which means that Yanni's leading, growing advantage more than 10 seconds, probably about 20 by the end, will hold, and Yanni takes a 4-0 lead.
Let's see, 25 seconds is the photo finish.
It's even bigger.
Window right now. I just sent a message with just a Frote ping in it on accident. Ignore that.
Yanni will figure it out from there. .535 to 546 actually wasn't a big difference in strategies. 11 seconds of in-game time. Yanni was quicker by a few seconds, so he will be catching up a little. But I suppose it was just an open spin, which neither of them wanted to take too quickly, and 5.5 minutes is just what we keep saying is, or it has been the standard Chinatown high codes. Welcome in the chat.
Time to start counting.
No wave as I see. Oh, there is wave.
Not even.
Frote did save you.
Oh, nice.
I had to. It just takes a second.
Can't believe it's not even sub 530. Shaking my head.
So it is 4-0, and it is the same player taking both of maps.
Have him confirm that, because I just always do that. And then our next map then would be New York as the first RNG map.
Yep. Just looking up this RNG pool, and yeah, we will have the extremes here. but just New York for now, because as it stands, Yanni can wrap this up with one more win. Frote. I'm not going to spoil further map, but foreshadowing a little, it is New York next.
And hopefully not a Yannini win on New York, at least for me personally, having just gotten here. But
oh yeah, it was glad to have you for the last 2.5
I'm
minutes.
just now able to start getting into the spin, and it's gonna be over anyways.
You can have New York all for yourself, and then it will all even out. This wasn't a long Marrakesh either, and first tries for Yanni so far today. So 23 past the hour, we are going into the third map.
New York. Yeah, what a lovely way for me to, oh, I didn't even accept the hello. I've hit accept like 4 times, so eventually Yannini will get some points.
I do my obligation to refresh the screen just in case, but it is 2-0 on my end so far.
It's also 2-0 on my end. Just I can't. I'll just override it, I guess.
I guess it was hard-coded by Mike not to have a Yanni lead here.
Manually issuing a win also not working. So
Hey, let's
don't know
go.
what I'm supposed to do now.
Summoning Mike. I think that's the community approach.
Yeah, I'm currently unable to. I've refreshed it like 4 times, so
Nice.
well, I guess this match is over.
That's like even better than having a short map 3. It's not having a map 3. It's a lovely day for Roulette Rivals for sure. Incredible matches all day long. It is the third match in which former or current Roulette Rivals champions face off, but in terms of title, 4 versus 3 is definitely the most stacked. All were, of course, round 2, for which the deadline was today, or is today, and we'll have 2 more matches, one of the round 2 matches later on, so you'll have a much clearer bracket shape by the end of the day.
Also trying to reject the win and then manually send it, but it refuses to let me do that as well. My Discord authentication expired.
Oh, great.
It was like 20 minutes ago. Why did it?
Yeah, it's a good time. I know that in Providence we had these funny timings, and Curry did tell me, or keep telling me that just yeah, your oath is gone, but I just got it. No, it doesn't matter. But nice, it seems to have been fixed by the refresh, I assume.
Okay. Well, spin will not be going live in 14 seconds, so
Would have only been better if it's going live in the past.
guess I'll push that to 30. And here we go. What a lovely debut for my RRWC 2022 casting career.
Oh, I didn't know it's that special day. I'm glad to have you then, even more
Yeah,
so.
this is in fact the first cast that I've done in this tournament.
On to the spreadsheets, baby. Well, yes, you are either going to have 1 more map of this, or it's going to be certainly longer than 2 + 3 minutes. So
Yeah, I mean we've got the 2 kings of PC roulette rivals for most of its lifetime, so hopefully we don't end up seeing an 06 this quickly.
Yeah, I was
We've got,
mentioning. Yeah.
2 long and 1 medium to long map left after this one.
Yeah, so it's basically for fans of a long match, basically the neutrals. It's just one short map to survive, but of course it can end here. And as you said, I mentioned it at the very beginning, but everyone was on the photo finish still, of course, that 4-time versus 3-time, and 6 out of the 7 titles were on PC. That can't exactly be right. So Frote won RRs 1, 2, 3. Yanni won 4 and 5, and Frote won 6. So yeah, they swept the regular RRs in 2020 and 2021. They are yet to win a title this year, but I think whoever wins this match will have a really strong claim on that winner's bracket final spot.
Yeah, and I mean, to only be in winner's bracket round 2 at this point, like, this is quite a killer match if you're either of these players to get stuck in early on here in the bracket. But of course, there's always
Yeah.
the lower bracket run.
They could have avoided each other for one more round, should have Yanni kept his first place spot, but came down to a sweep against Phenium, and he couldn't take a map and infamously eliminated Cabin. I'm sorry, I need to bring this one up. And he did feel bad at the time because Cabin's fate was in Yanni's hands and couldn't clutch it out for him. And Phenium did advance and is still kicking strong in the lower bracket. But that meant a Yanni second place, and Frote won Group A, which was the defending champion Danny Booth's group. So a very strong one as well.
I'm glad I've got infer stats in my cast here because I was not as much of a group stage enjoyer.
It was a lot. It is always a lot. And
Yeah. What was it, like 216 matches or something like that?
Yeah, definitely cracked 200, even with the forfeits and dropouts. So, and that's in 24 days, which is just ridiculous.
Agent, get ready. Duel starts in 10
But
seconds.
it is now, of course, much scarce here, and we have kind of back-to-back matches here today, but everyone is watching this one, luckily, and Chris, finally you're here, then I think you're ought to take this spin at least.
We got Athena Savalis Falling Object as the bank robber. So, I mean, I think if you are a first time around New York, the spin would probably look a lot harder than it actually is. But given the chandelier being right there in the middle of her office, bank robber start if you choose to go for that, also being like a really safe route up there. So, honestly, not too difficult of a spin. I could very much see a photo finish happening here, but we'll see how this goes. Frote pretty quickly loaded in, and Yannini taking a little bit more time. I think might have been thrown off just a bit by the bank robber.
Yeah, and they not only changed starting locations, which I think is the good call here. Of course, you can take the free disguise, but it never really works out. They were both scrambling in the loadout a little. This is technically a loadout free kill. You can just use the loud pistol from the soundproof corner to get the falling object kill, but at least Yanni opted for a silence pistol.
Yeah, poor guy. He did well for it.
And now it's the 2 different directions up there. I think Yanni will be waiting out this 106 mark, perhaps. Oh, no, because there's no Fabian, no Matteo disc there, so it doesn't matter a lot if you get Fabian or not. And Frote is going the evidence route. Assistance.
Yeah, I didn't see the entirety of the loadout, but especially if it did end up bringing in a silence pistol, a snail would very easily make up for that.
I think Yanni is banking on the meeting at the high 2-minute mark, and I think it's just the second jank for Frote. Didn't stop long enough for me, but maybe on the replay. Yep, these are 2 jank guns.
Yeah, 2 darts, yeah.
And Yanni trying to get this. It wasn't really a peekaboo attempt. I think he was just a bit too close there.
I'm a little bit worried that Frote might have KO'd that guard too early, but we'll see here in not very long.
That was out of my sight here as Yanni gets the KO a bit later on, so and the same amount of dragging, I would say. So it is really down to whether Frote regains his green guns. Anyway, around this chair will be nice, and yep, this will be an always soundproof kill.
Corner. That's still red on Frote's end.
It's a valid.
And that is green for
And I don't
Yanni.
see any other way
Hmm.
that would have happened. Yeah, I
GG.
couldn't tell because the guard was behind the pillar, but I didn't think I saw the like spinning icon on his mini map by the time he had KO'd that other guy. So I think he just got a long trank animation.
Yeah, it basically what the map will come down to. Some panic on Yanni's side, the gunshot hurt, but it won't matter because I was wrong in the loadout in the end, and it was double trank for Yanni as well. Can even use a snail for the last 2 key cards. One
Yeah, and he's pretty
enforcer
much
lady dodge.
just got the God Enforcer lady left.
Yeah,
That could even possibly rip him. And I think that's going to be it.
yeah, she was tempted to intervene, but went back to her cycles, and Yanni's first try will win New York as well. We have the 6-0 finish. 33 past the hour.
And there it is, 5 stars. Rest in peace, my shoutcasting dreams.
6.
Well, you were here. you had the full game admining, yeah, but yeah, it was just too short. And there is going to be in this void within us for the next half hour, because I think for the first time since 8 my time, so 1.5 hours ago, we will have no matches to watch, but I think we can already go to the brackets to see what happened here. As we said, there was a match that went down to the wire, one that you will remember for a bit, since it was kind of tight to end the match on, but the 6-0 went Time Cube's way. The brackets will not show for the life of me, but
Yeah, I wish this one could have ended in a 4-6 as well, but
on some days it's definitely a 4-6. On some days it's a 6-0 or 0-6, but today it's just Yanni's sweep, just really strong today. And yeah, apart from one match, we have the full round 3 roster. The upper half is set now. GK Punk versus the buff guy, and after these 2 matches, Time Cube versus Yannini for a spot in round 4. Round 3, of course, means that they are guaranteed in the top 12, or tied 9th if you prefer that. And round 4, which will mean the top 6 position if they were to win that one. 2 rookies, and I would say with buff, I think two big veterans now, at least for the last year. We'll be facing off for that spot in the first half, or the top half of the winner's bracket final. And we have Observer versus Danny Buta and Pijero waiting on Reaper versus Mika in the bottom half.
yeah, just insane. We've got in round 3 at least so far, there's so many players with a ton of experience. And then we have GK Punk and the Time Cube, I think, is our 2 completely roulette rookies here in RRWC.
I think so. The last remaining 2. As I remember that, I do need to just check the lower bracket as well, because it's also important for Frote's route, but I can also mention that I don't see any rookies down here either. Frote's first match will be number 36 in losers round 2 against I Like Hitman. And that other match is Joker versus Phanium. That's well, 3 of them will be out by the end of round 3. That's how brutal the World Championship is.
Yeah, and I mean, we see as well that Kaneda and Ducker match, we've already got insane veterans getting knocked out, even in the lower bracket, by extremely rough matchups.
This will be tough to see for the next. I think it's almost 3 full weeks until December 4th. And yeah, I think the next week will whittle down the competition a lot until the final 10 and below. And yeah, a lot of big names won't make it there. And I think one will be eliminated next in our next match, rather. Yep, top of the hour is a lower bracket round 1 match. Yeah, the last one of those. Rocky Horse versus Barbecue. As I said, the top of the hour, casted by Nezuko Chen again. So to everyone who was joining me from the raid, from Nezuko, they can join back there. But of course, with 23 minutes to go, there's no reason to raid there. Just be there when the match happens. One more match for the night, Reaper versus Mika, the last of the round 2 matches. Joker versus Phantom already did schedule for 7 a.m. tomorrow. That is scheduled for that. I'm hoping that someone will take it. It's an unfortunate hour though, for sure.
Probably myself will be taking.
Commiserations. And thanks in advance. Also, thanks for joining me for adminning and co-casting. What did you think of this match? Of the final 5 minutes that you say, but
I can't wait to I can't wait to go watch the VOD for the match I just casted to see what happened.
Yeah, it's sadly that's how it goes, but yeah, great matches today and more great matches today and of course tomorrow. So do catch all of those, everyone. Thank you everyone for watching and see you guys next time.